Hey, welcome to ATG episode 6.
Star Trek Discovery. Star Trek is back on the small screen for the first time since 2005. Has it been that long? Eesh. Anyway, it's set to premiere on May 2017 and it's going to be approximately 13 episodes, so I've heard. So here's the weird thing. It's set before the original Star Trek series. It's separate from the films, but the films are technically the same story because time travel and spark premise. So it's set roughly a decade before the events of the original Star Trek series. Well, the animated series, but we would cover that another day. Again, but you know, time stuff. So is it a sequel to Enterprise, the series? Because that was set in the 2100s. But you know what? We're going to skip for that for the moment. The new series follows the crew of the USS Discovery as they do just that. They discover new worlds, aliens, and the standard opening monologue stuff about, you know, well, aliens. The season-long storyline revolves around an instant or a big event that happened in Star Trek history that's all been talked about but never been explored, which is cryptic. I would like to see maybe a bit about the difference in the old Klingons to the new ones. That really awkward bit, you know, which they made a delightful gag about in the Deep Space Nine episode, Trials and Tribulations. It was never properly explained how the Klingons suddenly were just grumpy-looking men and then suddenly had some weird road bumps on their face. Plus, also, apparently it's Star Trek and now you can just change whatever you want. So we have got Sonequa Martin Green as Rainsford, the Lieutenant Commander of the USS Discovery, referred to as Number 1. Which now all I can hear is Picard saying, you know, Recontrol Number 1. That was terrible. So, no captain, which, let's see how that goes. Unless she's like, you know, she is in The Walking Dead. Oh my god, The Walking Trek. Doug Jones as Saru, a science officer aboard, serving as a lieutenant aboard the Discovery. Wait, he's a lieutenant, the other person, doesn't matter. But apparently he's portraying a member of a new alien species, just created for the series. What? I would love to see something really unhuman, you know, like extra arms or wings or a nose for an entire face. Something really alien, like a red Vulcan. Oh wait, no, they were going to do that, but they scrapped that. Spock was going to be red. Old Doug looks a bit like an alien anyway, just saying. Anthony Rapp as Stamets. Stamets? Hey, he's a science officer specialising in astromycology. It's the study of fungus in space. You know, that guy from Rent. I always thought he was a fun guy. I'm sorry. Michelle Yao as Giorgio, maybe? Never sure how it's pronounced. It's really hard to read it on a page. Captain of the USS Shenzhou. Yes. So technically there is a captain, but just not the captain of the ship. That's the main point of the... Still, Chris Obi as the leader of the Klingons, who's going to unite the Klingon houses. Apparently that's a thing. Shazad Latif as Cole, commanding officer of the Klingons. Yes, that guy from Spooks. That was a program. Mary Shifo as LaBelle, battle deck commander of the Klingon ship. A lot of Klingon things going here. I'm going to sense that's something to do with the big twist. Am I excited? Yes. Well, that and just a little curious. It has a lot of potential if it's done well, but it also has the strong ability of not evolving to meet modern expectations of a good TV series, especially with the quality of strong programs nowadays on things like Netflix, Amazon Prime. I'm looking at everyone in the room and they're all nodding at me. The ending's going to be a big thing for fans, as let's face it, the end of the Enterprise series was a little lackluster. Spoiler alert! It was the Star Trek equivalent of it's all a next generation dream. Yep. Nailed it. Loved it! Also, I'll be taking a look at the new Star Trek Partworks graphic novel series from Eagle Moss shortly, so set faces to fun! This is why I need friends.
What up guys, Jake from ATG here. So yesterday, all over social media, Marvel released this very cryptic message simply stating this: Save the date, January 26th, 2017. Tune in at 7 AM PST, 10 AM EST. And that was it. Nothing more than that. A big Marvel logo slapped across the middle and a blurred out image behind, not really giving much away. So obviously fan sites and fan theories went crazy. There were things popping up all over the internet. Some of my favourite ones that I saw was the mystery Marvel show that we don't really know much more about. We covered that on a more recent blog about what we think it might be, but that was one of the fan theories that we were going to get some clarification as to what that was going to be. Some of the others were characters that we haven't had movies from yet, or that we haven't seen in the MCU. One of my favourites happened to be Captain Britain. I'm not a massive fan, so the fact that people were actually, you know, throwing theories around that we were going to get an announcement that there was going to be a Captain Britain movie, that amused me. So I'm not slating him as a character, but it just amused me as a fan theory that this was going to be Marvel's big announcement. I think one of my favourite ones that I saw was some people were throwing around the idea that the X-Men or possibly Spider-Man were being released and they were therefore coming back to Marvel, and so we'd therefore see them in the extended MCU universe. Personally, I think with certain films like Homecoming and Logan just about to come out now, I didn't really see much truth in that one, so I wasn't holding my hopes up, although that would be epically cool, wouldn't it? So the 26th came around and we got this.
They say the time of heroes is over. That if you're different, you're dangerous. But I know the truth. The world will always need heroes. We just need to reassemble.
A trailer. A trailer for a computer game. Anticlimax. No, but all jokes aside, I mean, it is really exciting news. Square Enix, most popularly known for things like the 2013 Tomb Raider game, Just Cause 3, and of course the Final Fantasy series. Now, the idea of Marvel and Square Enix coming together and creating a Final Fantasy-esque Marvel universe is very exciting. Now they've stated that this is going to be a universe that you can play in for years to come. The trailer itself doesn't give too much away, as you've just seen. We see iconic items of various different heroes, mainly things like Thor, Captain America, Iron Man. Looks like they've had some kind of battle or some kind of demise, and they're obviously, you know, not working. I think it's more recent than it is sort of seeing something that happened a long time ago, because obviously there's still electricity buzzing around the hand of Iron Man. The lightning is still kind of flickering around Thor's hammer. So this is very exciting. Personally, I'm not a huge gamer, haven't been for quite some time. I mean, I dabble, I touch in and out, but this has got me quite excited. This has definitely got me interested in the idea of what could be there. As far as games go, I'm much more DC orientated. Things like the Arkham series are absolutely phenomenal. As soon as you put them on, you can't put them down. So much to do, so much to look at. And of course as well, the Injustice games, with Injustice 2 just around the corner. DC have definitely got everyone's attention in regards to games. So this is actually a really clever move of Marvel to throw this out just as everybody's talking about DC and their games, to throw out this trailer of something that's not coming until, I've read somewhere that they said there's not going to be any more details until nearer 2018. How true that is, I don't know, but you know, this is obviously a project that's in progress.
Okay, so we're going to be looking at the new Arrow Season 5. Really exciting season so far. We've got the introduction of 4 new heroes. We've got Wild Dog, Artemis, Ragman, and we've got Mr. Terrific, who I don't quite understand the point of, but anyway, more on that later. The roles of the heroes, where they're going, it's really interesting to say that, because in the beginning of the series, it was quite robust and the characters didn't really do much apart from Mr. Terrific, whose role is to get punched and get kidnapped, and that's about it really. But apart from that, the Wild Dog arc and the Ragman arc as well came in as a villain, but Oliver somehow tried to transform him into a hero, so it's really interesting to see that. And it's also the arc between Ragman and Felicity, because obviously Felicity is the reason why Ragman is Ragman. Discussing Tobias Church as well, it's quite interesting to think about that story arc, because we haven't seen a human villain so far. There's always been superhuman or mystical or something like that. So it's really interesting to see that Tobias Church is basically a gang lord who's taken over the whole of Star City. Who is Prometheus? So I've got my ideas on who Prometheus is. I think it's either Super Hot Reporter or Adrian Chase. More on Adrian Chase. People, online theories, think that Adrian Chase is the Master Vigilante we saw in episode 5 or 6, I think, I can't quite remember. But I think it might be Adrian Chase because he gave a reference in an earlier episode saying that he's got a grudge against Oliver. And that's quite interesting to think, because why would he have that grudge? And also we know, spoiler alert, that the Prometheus is the son of a big pharmaceutical company who Oliver shot in the first season. Talking about the last Arrow episode we saw Curtis' husband walk out, we saw Felicity's boyfriend got shot, and Team Arrow is currently falling apart. And also, really big spoiler ahead, apparently Sarah Lance has come back. Now we're not quite sure why, but theories online saying that she's the Earth 2 version who's somehow turned good and has now come back into this season. Now the crossover, I really want to talk about the crossover because it was the 100th episode of Arrow. It took place, first episode was in Supergirl, second crossover was in Flash, third Arrow, and then finished on Legends. Now, concentrating on the Arrow episode, because it was the 100th episode, it was all based in a sort of virtual reality that Arrow and the Team Arrow, it was basically the story of what happened if Oliver didn't get on the ship. I mean, he's getting married to Sarah, he's getting married to Laurel, Sarah's still there as well, Sarah's dad, Quentin, still hates Oliver. So that was really interesting to see, and there was a moment as well where they all started sort of realising where they were, and they had to fight against their inner demons. So everyone was up against each other, so Dick was up against Andy, Oliver was up against Deathstroke, so we see Sarah up against Damien Dark, etc, etc. I think the crossover event was fantastic because we actually got to see every single member of the Arrowverse in one episode, and for me that was just brilliant. So future plans, what are we thinking? I think it's going to be a really difficult time for Team Arrow. We've seen that the Team Arrow is currently completely disbanded. Laurel's come back and Curtis' husband's walked away. Felicity's boyfriend is now dead because he got shot. So what's going to happen in the future? I'm not quite sure. I think Prometheus is going to test every single member of Team Arrow to some sort of extent, and it's going to be really exciting for me to sort of think about that. So possibly going to be quite a good season.
John's 2-minute rants. John, as you know, loves his rants about basically everything ever made in the universe. He can find the truly bad in something wonderful. So we challenge him to rant for 2 solid minutes. Now, if John finishes his rant in less than 2 minutes, point to the team. If he does go 2 minutes or above, point to John. Well, let's get started.
John, 2-minute rant. Topic, Pacific Rim.
Oh!
Your time starts now.
Okay, Pacific Rim, oh my god, what a big pile of crap! It is possibly the worst film I saw in the last 5 years. Do you know what Pacific Rim is? Pacific Rim is a nothing film. It has zero... it has zero importance on this planet. It is basically, Pacific Rim is Power Rangers. Pacific Rim is Power Rangers for people in their 20s, maybe their early 30s, right? That's what it is. It's big, giant monsters fighting big, giant robots. Oh, what a surprise, controlled by men. Men in suits. Hold on, weren't the Megazords in Power Rangers created by, or powered by men in little suits? Yes, I think they were. Oh, what happens? They have a fight, they have a punch-up in the middle of the sea, there's occasional sparks flying off their chest units and stuff, and they fall to the ground. Oh, and there's a few protagonists down on the floor trying to save the world, and these monsters have come from nowhere, just like Rita Repulsa, and Goldar, and the baboon-looking one, the blue one with the spiky chin. It was just crap! It's Power Rangers! Poor old Idris Elba was in it as well, who's a very, very talented actor. Very, very talented actor, right, who has been wasted being in this film, and then put alongside that useless ginger streak of piss who used to be in EastEnders, right?
What about his speech, John? What about his big speech?
I don't care about his big speech. What about his big speech? Oh my God! Like, The Godfather had a beautiful speech in it. The Grapes of Wrath had a beautiful speech in it. You know, E.T. even had a beautiful speech in it.
What about the sequel?
Right? Pacific Rim! Pacific Rim job, more like. What a piece of shit! I'm done.
What? I thought it was alright.
You're a wanker.
Like how?